Bless them. Bless their little hearts. So, I've been farting around with this for a little bit, and I have to say, I'm not gonna say that I was like a huge fan of the original. I do have the original, and I got as far as the, I want to say I got as far as Pinstripe, but the game just kicked my ass way too hard. And of course I had to buy the remake because Insane Trilogy and the Reignited Trilogy were really good. And I was hearing a lot of good things about this one, and having played it for myself, I want to say that this is now the gold standard for remakes. It put in everything everyone ever wanted. It added characters everybody wanted. It's basically a best of. You have all of Crash Team Racing. I didn't even know this. They even added like all the tracks from whatever the racing game on PS2 and GameCube was. So we're gonna fart around in the adventure mode. See if I can finally conquer it. I do have a save file from playing with my nieces. So we're gonna do classic. Shit, I was hoping I could still play as Rue. I always used to play as Purah when I was a kid, but I'm gonna stick with Coco. That's because I'm a big fan of the modern design for Coco. I played as her in Insane Trilogy. I'm gonna keep it up here. It's pretty cute and funny, you know? It's also super fucking early in the morning for me, so I'm gonna be drinking my coffee. So, as the legend goes, the original reason that this game had an adventure mode was because either Naughty Dog was tired of the series, or Naughty Dog was about to lose the rights to the series, something like that. So, they were just like, how do we fuck ourselves? How do we jump the shark? So they made this alien character, Oxide, and they were like, the whole series has been New Zealand and Australian Outback inspired, so if we put this fucking alien in it, people are gonna think it's so stupid they'll never want to buy one of our games again. And come to find out that people fucking loved it. Also, I love how I can tell that spaceship was designed by somebody who works on Ratchet and Clank. It just has that feeling to it.
Get ready to race for the fate of your planet.
Let's go!
I'm not a fan of Tiny's face in these remakes. I don't know what it is about his eyes that just looks super fucking creepy.
Welcome to the adventure area. You can travel around this area.
I can never
practice your
unhear the
driving
Grim
skills.
Reaper.
The dots and stars on the map represent warp pads which lead to races. When they flash, it signifies they are open to play. To access a racetrack,
So, like I
drive
said,
into
when
the
I was a
warp
kid, this
pad
game
that has
kind
an
of kicked my
active
butt a little
warp
bit.
vortex,
I
and it will
never
take you to a
drifted.
track starting
I never
line.
really understood what drifting
Finish the
was.
track in first place to win a trophy. As you collect more trophies, other tracks will unlock. Good luck, and drive fast.
But now that I've got a couple years of like Mario Kart and whatnot under my belt, I know that sounds really stupid, but like, it has legitimately made me somewhat better at racing games. He says as he spins out like a fucking bitch. God help us. There we go. Well, why don't I go into an actual place to test this out? So the Nitro Fueled Edition has all these like costumes and skins you can unlock, but I don't pay for PlayStation Plus. I mean, if you've heard me talk about it before, I'm pretty stretched thin. I've got a full-time job. I'm a volunteer paramedic, and I'm a full-time student. So basically, I maybe get one day off a week to myself. And I don't really see the purpose of paying for online. So I'm kind of screwed. You get like 50 coins at most in the offline. And everything in the shop is thousands of coins. So it's pretty much, I gotta make my purchases count. And I have baby bitch mode with the glowing wheels turned on. Whoop. Damn it. Yeah, this is kind of what I was afraid of happening.
It might be time for an upgrade.
I apologize for my shameful display. I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, oh, this is hard, so it sucks.
Not good. Get in the slow lane, buddy.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before or ever had a reason to mention this, but Jesus Christ, the sound of Jimmy Neutron's voice just pisses me the fuck off. Every time I hear, I'm sure she's a nice person, and I don't mean to shit on her directly, but every time I hear Debbie Derryberry, or whatever the fuck her name is, every time I hear her in a video game, I just get irrationally angry. And it's not like there's a huge list. I think she's a monkey in Ape Escape. She's Coco for sure. It's like Monica Rial. She just has this nails on a chalkboard voice that just pisses me off. And the best part about Nitro Fueled is that this really is like one of the greatest remakes ever. You know, normally with any video game, you have a legion of psychotic, like, people with no fucking time on their hands. Who just hate everything, they shit on everything, they can't find any kind of a positive at all. And I think that's just a waste of time. I mean, yes, when a bad video game is bad, it's bad, but I've never really taken the angry video game nerd approach of like, oh, fuck this game forever, it sucks, But the point I'm trying to make here is that those people have shut up. Those people play this game, and it's like, oh my god, I'm picking it up, and it's like I'm 10 years old again, and oh, I unlocked Entropy in like an afternoon, holy shit, they did it, blah, 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 blah. And that's, I mean, that's incredible. I just... The amount of love and care that went into this game is just unbelievable. I mean, it's like I said earlier, this is the Crash Bandicoot game where all your fucking dreams come true.
You can go faster through turns by power sliding. Press the power slide.
Be gone. Like, the trophy girls are playable. Spyro is going to be playable soon, and according to the data mine, where, yes, just like Smash, this game got data mined too. This game got data mined like day one too. But like all the characters that people wanted, like Embryo and Koala Kong, they're on their way. You know, Crash's ex-girlfriend, or whether or not that's been retconned, who knows? We'll find out. Tawna is coming. I forget if she's Cortex's niece or daughter or what, because the last Crash Bandicoot game I ever played was Wrath of Cortex. And I got the horrible launch PS2 version where the levels took like 40 seconds to load. And that pretty much turned me off from the Crash series, and I never played it again until I got the Insane Trilogy. But, no, there's a Spyro pack coming, and with the Spyro pack, allegedly, like, Alora, you know, the fawn girl, Hunter, and the rabbit are coming, and of course, if you know me, the rabbit is the most exciting one. Yeah, I have the bitch mode turned on. There's no way I can do these power slides without it. I will never be one of those insane kung fu masters at this game, but I at least hope to be marginally good. I do know about the little tricks, like jumping gives you a boost, which is why you see me hopping like a madman. It's really funny because on easy, when I was playing this with my nieces, I was absolutely lapping these fucking computers like nobody's business, even with my like abysmal level of skill here. Oh fuck, I got a fucking rocket.
And that's how it's done.
I don't know why it censors the trophies you get. I just got photo finish. I don't remember if the bosses were ever unlockable in the original mode. Like I said, I did not do very good at the original game. I think they were unlockable if you got gems.
Congratulations, you win a trophy.
In the,
To get a turbo boost while power sliding, wait until the smoke.
in the adventure mode file that I'm playing with my nieces, I always, it's on Coco now, but I always switch off the characters. Because my one niece wants to play as Pentapenguin, my other niece plays as Purah. I'm switching back and forth between Coco and Ripperoo, which is really fun because, you know, if you've ever, I mean, I don't know why you would, but if for whatever reason, if you're a friend of mine and you've ever seen any of the research I do, there was a couple weeks in one of my classes where we just kept going to the zoo, and I think I've got at least 100 pictures of me with the kangaroos.
Get the slow lane, buddy.
And yep. Huh. I know one thing that's going to get me some shit from the hardcore players is that I do not know the shortcuts. So I know I'm going to be driving people insane.
Not good.
And I don't know any of this like crazy shit about like the sacred flames and all that. Like I said, there are the hardcore motherfuckers at this game who can hold a goddamn power slide the entire way. And those people are gods. Oops. I mean, I know I was talking earlier about like extreme no-lifers, but I'm talking about like the kind of people who, you know, they get on 4chan and they bitch about every game. They want every game to be like the next Tortanic failure. And they look at this. The kinds of people who unironically post soul versus soulless threads and deserve to be like cast into eternal hellfire. Yeah, the only genuine complaint I have heard from like the crazy people are in this game you lose your momentum at like the drop of a hat. And in a racing game that's like a death sentence for sure. And I kind of understand what they're talking about. I'm not good enough to say that like, oh, well, that won't affect me. I mean, for God's sake, you can like clearly see me play.
And that's how it's done.
My absolutely paltry sum of Wumpa coins. I'm gonna set my controller down for a minute. I need to get another cup of coffee and put my phone on to charge. I apologize for that.
Congratulations, you win a trophy. When you get a TNT crate on your head, start hopping.
Oh, come on. All I did was drive near it. Fuck off. This game has the best adventure mode in a kart game, bar none. The only thing that comes close is Diddy Kong Racing. Which is kind of a moot point because I don't really think that very many kart games did have an adventure mode, but you know, when I was a kid, I used to pretend that Mario Kart 64 had an adventure mode, and it was the most ridiculous shit ever. I would go somewhere in Mario 64 and then pull the cartridge out and switch to Mario Kart 64 and do a couple races. It was completely ridiculous. I'm sure my 64 hated me for like swapping cartridges every half hour. Is Cortex still voiced by Mr. Krabs in this game, or was that a long fucking time ago? You know, I've been watching The Flash on Netflix, and seeing Mr. Krabs' actual actor, Clancy Brown, as a fucking... I've never seen his face before, and it's just so funny to see him playing this character, and I'm just sitting there like, Mr. Krabs, shut the fuck up. Oh, this is shameful. I don't think I'm going to be pulling the first place out of my hat anytime soon. Yeah, no. Nope.
It might be time for an upgrade.
You know, I still need to check the, I haven't checked the pit stop today. I hope the Electron Blue stuff is in.
Get in the slow lane, buddy.
I know my biggest problem is I don't let the bar fill up enough. Oh my god, some Turbo fan is probably watching this and screaming. I'm sorry. I promise. I'm trying my best. He says as he gets hit by the most obvious fucking barrel in the world. Ow! Oh, God. Oh, all that fucking... all that lead I had gone like tears in the rain. Oh, Jesus. I ain't coming back from that. I ain't coming back from that. Oh, fuck.
There's always room for improvement, I guess.
You know, speaking of the Flash show, if there's one thing I really appreciate about the CW DC animated, or I shouldn't say DC animated, but if there's one thing I appreciate about the CW DC live action shows is that one thing that I absolutely cannot stand about the Marvel movies is that they're too real. And what I say by that is, I cannot stand comic books where it's like, this comic takes place in New York. Like, this is very clearly New York. And my question with that is, so, if Superman is flying around New York, or I guess that's not fair to Superman, because DC always uses made-up cities. If Spider-Man is swinging around New York, why didn't Spider-Man stop 9/11? If Tony Stark is actually out in the Middle East with a fucking Iron Man suit, why didn't he track down Bin Laden? There's like so many like... And I think they even tried to justify it too, because it's like, oh... Or when you get these really fucking cringy ass comics where like Doctor Doom is like in New York crying and throwing down rose petals, like, oh, I just make Doom machines and fucking terrorize Latveria, but oh, blowing up the Twin Towers, those are the real villains. And if there's one thing that, like, I used to shit on DC all the time as a kid. I used to hate DC as a kid. I don't even know why. I didn't like Batman, I didn't like Superman, I didn't like fucking any of it. Because I would always sit there like, no, Iron Man's the best, because he's got a robot suit, and he's like Mega Man. But, I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but hilariously, my introduction to Iron Man, I never knew who Iron Man was until this moment, but, you know, I've said before that the reason I'm a med student is because I loved all those like Magic School Bus shit and all that. I was flipping through cartoons at my grandma's house when I was like 9, and I turned on the episode of Iron Man where he was inside Hawkeye, and it was specifically the part, and I've long since gone back and watched this episode. I even have that like shitty $10 DVD from Walmart where it's got all the episodes on it, and it was very clearly made by like some dude in his basement. Like the same version of like the I've got like an Earthworm Jim DVD that has like the same vibe. It's like, you know, the DVD menus were like very clearly made in like Windows Movie Maker. It's the same fucking label on every disc, and it just says disc 1, 2, 3. The back of the box was made in like MS Paint. But no, when I was a kid flipping through cartoons, I flipped on Iron Man, and it was the episode where he was inside Hawkeye, and the very first scene was the part where he's like attaching that chip to Hawkeye's spine, and like the Iron Man mask was just so creepy to me that I thought he was the bad guy. Like, you know, because there's like this whole thing with like Ultimo and blah 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 blah, and I didn't realize that was Spider-Woman that he's fucking, and he's got the crazy ass mullet and the mustache. But no, my introduction to Iron Man was a fucking Fantastic Voyage plot. And I'm not saying that's why I like Iron Man, but that was my introduction to him. But no, it's really fucking bizarre. I didn't like DC at all when I was a kid. And I mean, my dad bought me Batman everything. I had like Batman fucking like plates and cups and toys, and it's just like, why are you doing this, Dad? Do you like Batman? Are you trying to force Batman on me? But it wasn't until a couple years ago that the DC animated universe was free on Amazon Prime, and I was like, fuck it, I do like Batman now. I do like DC now. I have all of the fucking Superman movies. I have all the Justice League. And yeah, hand to God, I love DC more than Marvel now. But no, I watched Batman, I watched Superman, I watched all of Justice League. And if there's one thing I appreciate about DC, yeah, 20 minutes later we finally got to my point. If there's one thing I appreciate about DC, it's that they do not give a fuck. It's like, what's that? Fucking, we're in a comic book and shit doesn't make any sense. Fuck it. Everything and nothing is canon. We have to reboot the comic every other week because of shitty sales? Fuck it. Every reboot is canon. There's a million dimensions with a million Earths. Fuck it. Everything is canon. And they just don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about nothing. And I love it. Because it takes balls to just be like, fuck it, everything's canon. So, watching these DC live-action shows on the CW, and I don't know if the CW is just an American thing or what, but it's basically a local channel. You know, when antenna TVs went away and everyone had to go digital, the CW was a channel that like popped up around that time, and it basically has like all of the Fox shows that Fox couldn't, like, not even just Fox, like all of the shows that everyone lost. It's kind of like when Cartoon Network bought the rights to Johnny Test for literally 10 cents. And they started having their own original shows, and for what it's worth, the budget to these DC shows is actually pretty good. It's not, the CGI is not fantastic. There's some early episodes of Green Arrow, like like, here's the thing. So, Green Arrow tried to be like, or not Green Arrow, the Arrow. The Arrow tried to be like really grim dark. They tried to make him fucking Batman because I don't know if they just didn't have the rights to Batman or what, but they tried to make him dark, like, oh, he kills, you know. Oh, you ass. But they tried to make him like super edgy, like, oh, he's the Arrow. We can't call him Green Arrow. That's for gay people. No, he's the Arrow, and he kills, and he says fuck words, and he fucks bitches, and he's got money. And oh shit, this is gonna be like the most photo fucking finish ever.
It might be
Cocksucker! Damn it! But, no, they tried to make it all edgy and grimdark, and it's fine for what it's worth. It's a decent show. And then The Flash came out, and they were like, nah, fuck it. First episode, dude can control the weather. And yeah, the CGI is, like, budget as hell. It's like, if you've ever seen, like, a Japanese tokusatsu show, like, my favorite example to use is, I think it was Kamen Rider Gaim that was about the fruits. But, like, I mean, it pretty much is shaped like itself. Fucking budget-ass TV CGI. And sometimes it's real bad. And sometimes it's decent. But I just got to season 2, and, you know, he got his first suit upgrade. They made the lightning bolt white. He looks a little bit more like Comic Flash now. I don't know, I love the costume design. The only thing I'm not a fan of is that they made him a kid. I don't think there's any fucking reason that the Flash needed to be a kid. Oh, Jesus, this is going bad. Oh, God. Just end it. My only genuine complaint about the DC live-action shows are that... is that... they turned the Atom into this, like, weird knockoff Iron Man. And if you're, like, scratching your head at what I'm trying to describe, like, so the Atom is basically the DC equivalent of Ant-Man, depending on which version of the Atom it is. And the one in the DC shows is Ray Palmer, who was the first Atom. So, like, the Atom is just a dude who has the power to shrink to atom-sized. And not only can he shrink to the size of an atom, and it's something to do with, like, a funky-ass meteorite. And before anybody tells me I didn't do my research, I do know that that does come eventually. But the TV show is just the most ridiculous, like, changing. I mean, they've already shown that they don't give a shit about being super cartoony if they have to. And, so what they've done is, he's this super billion, I mean, he's literally, you go to fucking the dollar store, and you don't see an Iron Man action figure. You see, like, oh, Super Iron Hero action figure. And that's what fucking the Atom feels like in the DC shows. I have no better way to describe it. He's a millionaire playboy who makes a super... Oh, that's the one I've been wanting, too. He's like this millionaire playboy who makes a fucking powered suit of armor. And the CGI is atrocious. Like, there was a crossover show, or there was a crossover episode on The Flash where the Atom shows up. And, he's just... The CGI is terrible. It's like they've... You know those goddamn, like... What's it called? The guy with the glasses. He makes all those fucking shitty movies. There's like... Spoonie flying. The CGI of Spoonie, like, flying into the sun looks better than the Atom flying on the DC shows. Click. Oh, Jesus. Let's see if we can't get some fucking... Skull Rock. Let's just immediately dive on in.
Collect every crystal in the arena before the time runs out. If you get them all, you will...
Oh, okay. Isn't this how you unlock Fake Crash? Or do you gotta get all of them? But no, they turned the Atom into this discount Iron Man. And I like his suit. I really do. But it just doesn't sit well with me. And they've got a show called like Legends of Tomorrow, which is basically a all the DC characters not good enough to get their own fucking show get dumped off here. And because they've turned the Atom into this like everyman hero, he's the leader of this squad of time travelers. And everything about it is just weird. And like I said, I know that he does get his powers to shrink. I know that. I'm stupid. I should have gotten that one that was up there. Now I'm just wasting time. Oh my god. Shit!
And that's how it's done.
You know, my boss at work and we're both big collectors. I mean, if you can't tell from my like pure unfunneled autism on my YouTube channel, I am absolutely in love with Mega Man. I have Mega Man everything. I don't remember if I've ever talked about this before, but I own like 2 of every like Ruby Spears Mega Man figure, because I've got the ones I played with as a kid, and then I've got ones that I went back and bought extras of as an adult. I've got Japanese figures. I've got
Get the lowest time you can
Lowest
by
time,
racing
okay.
fast and breaking time.
Oh Jesus, let's see if I can do this. So yeah, like my boss collects Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. I collect Mega Man stuff. I mean, you've seen my man cave. I haven't actually unpacked any of my Mega Man stuff since I moved out. I used to have it all on display when I still lived at home with my parents. That was like 10 years ago. So I've got like 5 fucking I've still got like 5 fucking boxes of Mega Man stuff just sitting in my closet. And, I was talking to him about the micro consoles, because he was asking me if I was going to get a Mega Drive Mini, you know, a Genesis for us Americans who don't call it a Mega Drive, like a bunch of fucking retards. Fuck you, Europe. I'm kidding. I love you guys. But he was asking me if I was going to get a Genesis Mini, and the answer is no, because, you know, I have a computer in every goddamn room of my house. I've got my brand new computer in my office. I have my old computer in the my man cave. I've got a Raspberry Pi over here in the main living room, quote unquote. I have my old modded Wii from before I got a computer in my bedroom. Like, there's literally computers all over my house. I have no reason to buy a micro console. And then fucking they showed off the goddamn accessories for it. And goddamn it, if I'm not considering it, I lost. Let's restart. And in case you don't know, let me, an absolute nobody, tell you. So, the Sega Genesis Mini, and for all we know, this isn't coming to the American version. There's no reason why it shouldn't. But there's the very real chance that it won't. The Genesis Mini has these absolute, do not get me wrong, absolutely 100% cosmetic. They do not do anything. But they're these little pieces for your Genesis Mini that you set it on top of. So it comes with a Sega CD attachment, it comes with a 32X, a copy of Sonic and Knuckles, and then a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. And they call it the Tower of Power Edition. And if you're not up to date on your dank 4chan memes like I am, the Tower of Power is this old, like, VR joke about, like, how many fucking copies of Sonic and Knuckles can you attach to each other before it starts working. And they ended up attaching, like, something like 20 copies before it finally stops reading and just plays Sonic and Knuckles. And, yeah, just the fact that I love how self-aware Sega has become. Like, they're basically, it's kind of like when the fat kid admits he's the fat kid and just, you know, fuck it. Kiss my ass, I'm the fat kid, I get it, you know. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Nope. Nope. Literally by a second.
Might be time for an upgrade.
But I wouldn't even plug the damn thing in. I would just, like, attach all the pieces and just put it on a shelf. And the fucking Genesis Mini is already, like, $80, so it's not fucking worth it to me. But just the shitty little, hey, look, you could bake the life support machine is just like, you guys. You guys. I feel so bad for, like, the people who are really good at CTR watching me play this. Someone is just watching this and screaming.
There's always room for improvement, I guess.
And I do play with the D-pad. I know that's like the one thing people say, don't play with the analog stick. I will always play with the D-pad unless it's a 3D game. I know extreme psychopaths who will like play a fucking emulator and they'll be playing like Mario on the NES with an Xbox 360 controller and they use the fucking analog, and those people are animals. I will always use a D-pad. And I know there's something funky about this game and the analog stick anyway. Oh, finally!
Great. You've earned a relic. To get around a tight turn, or to face a direction quickly, you...
Let's save and check out the
This is the
pit
load
stop real
save
quick.
screen. There are 5...
is this? Alright, probably do a couple more, and then I'll have to get going so I can get ready for work. So is there some kind of specific strategy that you guys use? Like, feels like I'm always using the right bumper to, feels like I'm always using the right bumper to jump, and then like the left bumper to activate my boost. I don't know if you guys do something different. I don't know if it's like, oh, use whatever direction you drift in. As much sense as that makes. The last time I remember playing CTR, I had bought it on PS3 when it was 99 cents. And I think I got about this far before I was like, yeah, no, I can't fucking do this anymore. See, you have to see this from my perspective. I put it on easy for my nieces, and so, you know, they're obviously getting their little asses kicked at like every race, so they hand the controller over to Uncle Rabbit, and then Uncle Rabbit like fucking laps the shit out of the AI. And he gets to be the hero, and, you know, it is on easy. So it's like, huh, you know, this game's not so bad. I'm Mr. Big Dick. And now here I am playing on Classic, and it's like, not so much. Now, I don't know if, I don't have a capture card on any of my computers, which is something that I want to work on. For sure, I'm going to be putting a capture card in my new computer. My old computer, I might buy like an external Elgato or something. But, I don't know if you were able to see, like, one thing I've always noticed about the PSN, oh, you shit. One thing I've always noticed about the built-in stream on the PlayStation is that it doesn't start for like a couple minutes after you've started. So I've tried to be really good about like not trying to start mid-sentence, because at the end of the day, my YouTube channel is just a fun little channel for me to practice like video editing and shit. My grandpa was the kind of guy who, well, I shouldn't say was, he's still alive and kicking. My grandpa's the kind of guy who, he'll just wake up in the morning and just be like, you know what? I feel like learning how to crochet. And, I get that from him. So it's just one of those things where I just wake up, I woke up one morning and it's just like, you know what? I want to stream video games. And obviously, you know, considering some of my videos, I think my most popular video broke 500 something views. Totally gonna be the next ninja, guys. Oh, you little shit! You little shit! You little shit!
It might be time for an upgrade.
No, it's just one of those things. It all started when, like, I have a friend who, probably the second longest male friend I've had in my life. I had a friend who, well, I shouldn't say it. God, me and had. He is still very much around, thank you. But I have a friend who didn't start video games until the PS2. And he's about the same age as all of us. He was just, like, video games were just something he only had access to at family and friends' house. And, so he was the first one out of our little group to make a gaming PC. And, after that, we all just kind of made our own gaming PCs. And we have a couple friends in Europe, we have a couple friends in, like, you know, the West Coast, the East Coast. I've got some friends in, like, Korea, where as we all get older, and I mean, me especially, I probably have the busiest life out of all of us. You know, we can't go to each other's houses anymore like we used to. Like, it feels like just a couple of years ago, it's like we'd all go to each other's houses and maybe not come home for like 2 or 3 days and not even sleep. Just be like, God, there was a period where we beat like all 3 Army of 2 games in like one sitting. Like, holy shit, it was fucking Friday when we started. What the hell? And unfortunately for me, those days are over. And nope, I'm using all these until I hit you, you ass. So streaming is just kind of a nice way of still being able to feel like we can all sit on a couch together and play Vijija games. And I think the first game I ever streamed was Mega Man X. I didn't save it, but I have a friend in Europe who, if you know anything about Mega Man in Europe, they've like never got any of the games, and when they did get the games, they had the most unironically soulless box art ever. Like, if you want to have a good laugh, look up the modern box art for like the Game Boy Advance and PlayStation Mega Man games. It is unbelievable. Basically like a clip art piece of Mega Man art on like a blank background. Like the most generic splash background they could find in Photoshop. So because of that, he had never really been properly introduced to Mega Man games. So I just started playing fucking all of them and streaming them for him. And at the time, you know, like I said, if you've never heard me say it before, me and all my friends, we live in buttfuck nowhere, Indiana. So, I mean, you can laugh and call us like a third world country all you want, but I have friends who are literally still on dial-up. Like, the only thing about, like, when you get into arguments on the internet about where you live, the only thing I will legitimately agree with people about, like, oh, you fucking fly over state, is like, yeah, like, one of my friends having broadband internet is an achievement. Like, I have good internet because I live in a decently populated... I live in a decently sized city where we actually have a fiber optic line that was only installed like 5 years ago. So, all those jokes you see on television shows about Indiana, about how like, oh, we just got this new thing called a typewriter. Yeah, they're pretty much true. And so I would archive my YouTube or I would archive my stream footage on YouTube so that my friend could still watch me play. And after that, it just kind of grew like, hey, I'm gonna buy a decent microphone so I can actually talk to people. I'm gonna buy a second monitor so I can actually keep track of what I'm doing and not have to Alt-Tab out every 5 seconds every time I need to look at something. So, like I said, I'll never be big, and I don't care about being big. It's just, I like to think of myself as the average idiot. Like, hey, come look at this fucking loser play Crash Bandicoot and fail on the very first level like 4 times in a row. I have been genuinely surprised by some of my success as well.
You win a trophy.
And it's success to me.
You can get a hang time turbo from jumping. The longer you're in the...
I was streaming Mega Man 2 one day, and I don't know if it was during Awesome Games Done Quick or what, but I was streaming Mega Man 2, and I think it was the Genesis version, and I looked over at OBS, and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, I've got 300 viewers. So 300 people watched me play Mega Man 2, and I did decently well at it. And there's a couple things about my YouTube channel that I'm pretty proud of. Like, I'm one of my other best viewed videos that's broken like 600 something views is I'm one of the only people on YouTube that has footage of the Wily Tower from the Genesis version of Mega Man. Or, my Magic School Bus video that I did a couple weeks ago has just a stupid number of views. And I think it's just because everyone who's ever played that on YouTube just did, like, highlights. Well, I tried to do everything. And I do plan on doing the rest of the Magic School Bus games at some point. I've pretty much pigeonholed myself into that one. If there's one thing I want to change about the Magic School Bus, I still need to put some kind of video editor on my new computer. I haven't done that yet. I was still recovering from a hangover when I filmed that. So, like, my super awkward, super lame, cringe-ass joke of, haha, he said the nigger word at the end of my, at the end of that video, like, that was tasteless even for me. And in case you haven't noticed, I thrive on shock humor. I love shock humor. I grew up on, like, Jackass and shit like that, so that's funny to me. Like, I unironically like iDubbbz and Big Mouth. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's over.
That's how it's done.
So I've been wanting to go back and like edit the end of that video to just be like, oh my god, you guys, I went an entire video without saying nit, and have it cut to like that rainbow technical difficulties screen. I think I'll get to Papu Papu and call it a day. So, Papu's Pyramid is pretty much the make it or break it of Crash Team Racing. I was explaining to the missus the other day when we were playing this that Papu's Pyramid is the quintessential example of you're either going to get good at this game or you're not. There are hard-ass 90-degree turns, and the remake, what we're playing now, it just barely widened the amount of space.
Check this out.
Yep, I do that every time.
Magnitude power.
And I am not ashamed to admit that even on easy, this one took me a couple times. The only reason I'm as decently good at the nitro boosting that I am is because of this, having to do this level like 500 fucking times. Apparently there's a way that you can jump over like half that pyramid.
Check this out.
I don't know how people do it. I know one thing I've seen people say is if you want to get good at this game, you have to play the time trials because like the time trials you can watch Entropy's Ghost.
And that's how it's done.
And then later Oxide. And like Entropy, from what people have explained, like watching Entropy's Ghost and learning what he does is the bare minimum to like considering yourself good at this game. And you're not a master until you can beat Oxide's Ghost, because Entropy will teach you like where to boost and where like one or two of the shortcuts are. But by the time you get to the point where you're watching Oxide's Ghost is pretty much, you better have this shit fucking mastered. And if you don't, then good fucking luck. Jesus fuck, what?
Get in the slow lane, buddy. And that's how it's done.
I did not deserve to win. Full stop. I did not deserve to win. I got that. That was pure luck. Hey, look, it's me.
Slugs race so slow. Papu wanting action to lay Boom down big, and true Papo is world's best driver. Papu moves so fast, you munch tracks.
There's certain characters that I have no idea why people love them so much. And like the ones I see every time are Embryo and Nina. Those are the two characters that are just complete gonks. That like, it's one thing if you like Nina for the, oh, she's poor tortured soul. Like, I know, I've seen enough threads to see people talking about her, like, oh, she's the poor tortured soul that loves cute animals and she has those gloves that crush everything or whatever. But, I don't know, maybe because of the whole mad scientist thing, people like Brio, who knows? I am sure that he just drove through my TNT. Oh, and apparently we've got some object motherfuckers coming in a patch too. And if you have no idea what I meant by that, it's this like legendary joke among Crash Bandicoot fans that so in the original Crash Bandicoot, I think back in the day, PlayStation games were programmed on like assembly, and oh Jesus, this is horrible. Yeah, I ain't winning. I ain't coming back from this one. I will stay... I will keep going so I can get my paltry sum of coins. That hitbox is insane. Oh, I've just accepted I'm driving into shit at this point. Regardless of what it was programmed in, that doesn't matter. But the,
It might be time for an upgrade.
when you save a 3D model, it's usually saved as an object file. Or, for shorthand, it's OBJ. And the programmers for the Crash Bandicoot games saved in order to save space on like data and text and all that, the Dr. Cortex's lab assistants were saved as object ass. And it just kept, like, it became a joke among the programmers to just make it progressively worse. So like they went from object ass to object like ass banger, and eventually just full stop like object motherfuckers. And just it became this joke that was passed along to the play. Like once data mining and all that started becoming more popular, it just became a joke among the fans to refer to them as object motherfuckers. If you ever wonder why I'm always like rambling autistically, it's because I somehow do better when I'm just like mumbling. Like when I actually put all of my... What the fuck? How did he catch up? I like had a full lap on him almost. Oh my god, come on. Oh my god, come on!
Wrong way.
There's always room for improvement, I guess.
God damn it. Oh my god, come on! It wasn't even fucking close to the goddamn thing. Oh my fucking god.
Get in the slow lane, buddy. Let's go!
God damn it! Oh my fucking god. This is ridiculous.
Magnitude power!
God damn it. You're not even fucking trying to follow him. What the fuck? God damn it.
Get in the slow lane, buddy. Magnitude power!
Did you goddamn see that? He was so on my ass that fucking... He kept me in the air long enough to get like a boost from it. Holy shit, Pinstripe is gonna fucking murder me. Pinstripe is gonna fucking murder me, Jesus Christ. Ah, fucking 40!
And that's how it's done.
Jesus Christ, I'm a fucking 40-year-old magician.
Papu not himself today. Maybe Papu not eating a big breakfast. You are fast for being so small. Here's key to help. Oxide much bigger problem for you. Him not as big, but him much more grumpy.
Oh my god. Oh, Christ alive, I did it. Oh my god, that's enough excitement for one day. I said earlier I was gonna get to Papu and stop, and here I am. I fucking got to Papu. Jesus Christ. I did it. I beat the most basic boss in the game. Why is it purple now? Oh, it's the thing. Alright. Oh, Jesus. Oh, gee. Well, you know what? Let me go to the new one. Oh, God. God, you could fucking, like, press a piece of coal into a fucking diamond with my asshole right now. Oh, I like grazed the door. Fuck off.
You must come in first place in
I'm a whole % further in this save file. Alright. This is where we're gonna call it quits. I have a day off tomorrow, so I'll probably be back to it then.